See in other countries that local matches are full to the brim. I mean, if you try, I've been to a KPL match and literally I've decided maybe an hour before, let me just turn up and come. There is no way any of the Premier League matches you can just decide an hour before, let me turn up, because they're full to the brim. Why does that not happen here? The only matches that really get full are AFC Leopards and Gormaya. So, I want to know what is happening. Heno, what do you think?
First of all, I think hakuna moral, hakuna pia facilities zetu pia, like I don't think they can support a huge number. Kwa nini mnaniangalia hivyo? Watu wanaweza anguka chini, and
actually we saw that happening in the basketball.
In the basketball, nini hapa Nyayo Stadium, it's been on renovation for I think 3 years now, 2 to 3 years now, and the sports ministry is saying anything. So I think hizo ni stuff zina discourage Kenyans to partake. So they'll be very active on Twitter and tweet, yo, Gor is playing, Kakamega Homeboyz is playing, AFC is playing and all that. But physically kwenda huko? No. No.
Have any of you been to a Kenyan Premier League match?
Yes.
How many?
Many. I've attended many. When I was in college, I remember...
No, let's not talk about when you were a child. of late, in the last 3 years.
In the last 3 years, yes. I've attended...
How many?
Gormaya matches. When they're playing...
How many?
AFC Leopards.
How many? How many?
Each and every FC and Gormaya match.
Okay, Sawa, you're off the hook. Babu? Okay, none. Tevin, none. This is the point that I'm making. We're in a room here and you guys put so much emphasis, weight and support behind Manchester, behind Chelsea, and not the country, the teams of your country, with the exception of the only man I defend in this room, always, my man Junior.
But spare these guys, Chiki.
No, Junior, I can't.
You watch a joke. Yes, thank you.
Sorry, do you go watch? Have you watched Dave Chappelle on Netflix?
But
people enjoy comedy.
No. This thing is a joke. It's unfortunate, but that is the situation on the ground.
But because it is true.
Look at the balls, look at the pitch, look at everything.
The referees.
Everything is a joke.
Yeah.
But then why do you always go?
I go there because I love Gormaya. It's a choice. If people choose not to go for that joke, fine.
You understand. You just enjoy the comedy value.
But I think the government should do something about our facilities, the stadiums.
It's true, because it's quite nice actually when you go to Emirates. I've been quite a few times, many times. It's nice. You grab a drink, maybe a beer, whatever. You're quite relaxed. You're quite comfortable. The camaraderie, the organization is tight. You come in, you have a stub, you have whatever. So it's an enjoyable experience. And the reality is, if it's your weekend, you want the things that you do on your weekend to be enjoyable experience. Yeah. You don't want to feel like, oh, now I have to stay in this queue. Now the stewards are rude. Now I need to find my seat. Now, it's extra that you really don't need when you just want to watch a match. And then on top of that, if the pitch isn't looking cute, if it rains and you're not 100% covered by the thing, I get what you're saying. Babu.
Yeah, recently we were having this conversation with Junior about how teams pay salaries to their players. He told me that we found out that most teams depend on sponsors and handouts, basically handouts to support their teams. So when you're going to a pitch to watch a game, the players themselves are not sure about
their salary.
If I get injured right now, what will happen next?
Yeah.
They're not sure. So the status of the stadiums is bad. So if you go to that stadium and it collapses, that's on you, not the club.
Unajipanga.
First, you meet a player at Gikomba hawking, selling top surely.
Yes. That shouldn't be funny.
That is one.
Selling what? Tops.
Selling boots.
Yeah.
A player.
No, and that is point number one. Number two.
Oh my gosh.
When you go to, as in, we all know the kind of the quality of game, of sports, of football matches we watch, of Kenyan football as it is. So most certainly I support Zukericho. You know that we are playing with Gormaya this weekend and we are at home as Zukericho. I'm in Nairobi. Zukericho's home ground is in, I'm guessing, somewhere in Kericho.
Yeah.
So why would I travel all the way to Kericho to watch a game that I know the qualities of the two sides are two worlds apart? Like you know this game, who will
okay.
win, how it would be unaweza jua hadi possession itakuwa ngapi.
Yeah.
So no
why would
need
I
to
go
go.
all the way
Yeah.
to Kericho to watch my team lose and not enjoy the match. Like it does not make sense. Plus the reason why the games which have a huge number of fans attending is the Gor Mahia
And
FC
FC
fixture
Leopards, yeah.
is because it's a derby. Like huko hata sidhani kama watu huenda na game kwa kichwa yao sana. Waenda tu kusumbua mafan wengine.
Tevin, what do you think?
First of all, government inaanzia tu huko juu. So government should do something because my studies ikiwa mbaya, alafu pia my studies ikiwa very unsafe because maybe kuna nyoka pale. So it's
Spiders,
spiders
yeah.
and everything. So for me as a fan or as a football fan, I will not want to put myself in that position. Plus,
I mean, you don't want to die for the game.
Hey, you don't want to die for the game. And then there's also
Maybe your boots business is not working.
the life. I mean, sometimes life is a reflection. So if you give me unpassionate football, I will not want to come and not watch unpassionate football. Be passionate. How you ref, be passionate about it. But they can't be passionate about it because they haven't been paid for a very long time. The commentators are commentating well because they haven't been paid for a long time. So it just can't.
The ball.
And the ball.
What is this? Is this a soccer ball?
So that's my opinion. Gava tu ifanye poa. I'm glad Caro ako huko.
But I do have a bit of a challenge. I do understand everything that you're saying about the quality of the stadiums and definitely your welfare and the fact that your life is the most important thing. However, I remember when British football wasn't started out.
Yeah.
No, I mean not started out because I wasn't born, but when it was not the huge size that it was, and you would come, and even still now, if you go to areas like West Ham, if you go to areas like Newcastle, it's the same thing. Quality of the pitches, bad. Quality of the balls, bad. Quality of the players, not great. But you go because you love the area. You support the people, you probably know 1 or 2 or 3 of the players, and that builds the entire industry. So for me, it's like often the conversation is gava, and I understand that. But also it's important for populace to support their teams, otherwise the government is not going to see that it's even a worthwhile investment making.
Or maybe it's not in our tradition kusupport. Maybe tunapenda watu wanakimbia sana, ama we like other sports. What do you think?
No, Kenyans love international football.
I know. Watu wameanza kupenda ball like 10 years. People are not really watching the Premier League and going for don't sit on this room and lie up at it.
Let me tell you.
Yeah.
I watched the other day when Hull came here to play Gor Mahia. You know, Kasarani was full until they had to
the
open
brim,
everything so that
watu waingie.
Yes.
So ni quality tuna miss.
Yeah, is the quality.
Kind of hard for us to be that entertaining, but at least try the tactics
Madoido nini
but poo from one end to another.
The Hull City Gor Mahia game, I remember the pitch was full because one reason could be because the match was free. Kenya's economy does not allow people
and I also think yes and no, because I from an outsider, first and foremost, I have seen more love for football in Nairobi than in parts of London. If you ask your average man and some women what international team you support, they can tell you stats, they can tell you information, they can tell, which in London most people cannot actually do.
Yes.
You think they can because you see it on television, but that's not the reality. So I think Kenyans love football. I've not seen, like, Rio Ferdinand has come here, Henri has come here, places where people don't give a damn about them. Like, you can see them in a club in the UK and maybe someone will say hi, but people flood to see these guys here. Yeah? So for me, it's not about whether Kenyans love football or don't love football. I think, and this bleeds into the broader culture, Kenyans accept non-Kenyan things more than they accept Kenyan things. Because if you look, and I see this in the music, I see this in the sport, I see this everything, you're not prepared to start from bottom and climb up to top. Things don't just become amazing from the start. They become amazing because they've had years of support, years of fighting for it, years of passion. You can't compare... Go on.
Where does this support lie, apart from us as Kenyans and
but
fans?
it has to start with the fans, because the unfortunate reality is this. if you look at the music industry as an example, because the sports, like you said, primarily are paid for by sponsors and or handouts, right?
Yeah.
Sponsors care about one thing: return of investment. So if you look at the music industry started growing when you had people like Sauti Sol, who are big now outside of Kenya, in Nigeria, so on and so forth. So you might get an alcoholic brand who says, if I put my money behind Sauti Sol, I'm more likely to get a return on my investment. Sponsors look at numbers. It's plain and simple. So if they're not seeing full matches, if they're not seeing people wearing local jerseys, if they're not seeing that, you won't get the sponsors.
That is why
Now,
it is TV left.
yeah, and then sponsors put pressure on government. If you're saying, look, I'm putting millions behind this team and this place is not even safe for people to stand, so you know it's going to have an impact on the economy. But for me, everything starts with the people. And what I struggle with here is, in so many different spheres, be it music, be it sports, whatever, there's always an excuse. There's always, yeah, but government's not doing enough. Yeah, but they're not playing well. Yeah, but the quality of the videos are not good enough. Where are the people supporting just because I'm a Kenyan? I'm supporting it because I'm a Kenyan, you're a Kenyan, and I want this thing to grow.
Yeah, true.
Oh, I've changed my mind. I think that is so powerful.